incredible journey you've had. I'd love to bring it back to where it all started. How did Rochelle become Rocky Rafaela?
It wasn't all success.
Let's talk about Rocky Rafaela. She is loved by some of the most stylish women on the planet, including our very own Ruby Rose.
I had to become the hero I was ultimately searching for, and I became the hero by creating it. This is a story about never giving up and what happens when society's mold rejects you. I needed a world to escape to. They said I was too broken to fix. I was different. I learnt differently, I loved differently, and I felt differently. I couldn't learn the way school wanted me to. I couldn't sit still. My thoughts moved too fast.
You're so dumb.
I guess my mind just didn't work the way they wanted it to. I didn't belong in their rules or their systems. When I started to see myself as the problem, as something unwanted, I started to turn the violence inward, and that's when it became dangerous.
How bad did it get?
From a young age, I experienced some trauma that later affected my impulse control. From the outside, it looked like I was naughty or troubled or a bad influence, but no one could see the truth. There was a terrified girl underneath it all, desperate for help, desperate for something, anything, to pull me out of the hell I was living in.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. If you don't mind me asking, what did they label you with?
By 18, they had labelled me with 6 diagnoses: complex trauma disorder, borderline personality disorder, ADHD, bulimia, anorexia, anxiety, depression. All I could hear was disorder, disorder, disorder.
That's a lot of labels. How did that make you feel?
Well, none of it made sense to me. I heard psychologists telling doctors I was too difficult to help. I learnt the language of institutions before I really learnt how to live. When I was at my worst, I think I was just on a mission to kill what the world didn't want. Well, that's what it felt like. I went pretty hard. I spent most weekends in hospital. One time I remember it was pretty bad. I was connected to wires for days, and yeah, my heart just became irregular. And I just remember hearing like an echo, my parents yelling at me. They blamed drugs and they blamed the alcohol, but it was never that. I was the problem, not what I was doing to cope. Me doing that caused a lot of chaos, and soon I was taken to a high security psych ward where I should never have been taken to. I was watched for days in what felt like a glass dome.
The fact that you're sitting here today shows that you can change. What did you do?
I think an easier question would be what work I didn't do. I think I tried everything. I was even taking myself into these places, rehabs, psych units, retreats in Ubud. I just felt like I couldn't rely on anybody anymore. It was up to me and only me.
This is so amazing. You have been through so much. Now I want to know how it all changed.
What do you want to do with your life? There's no right answer. Okay, this is a safe place. It's your home. It's just us. Tell me, when you imagine your future, what do you see?
Anything but this. I want to change. I don't know how.
That makes sense. Lots of people know they want something different long before they know what that is. Tell me, what do you love?
I don't remember. It seems like, it just all seems really dark to me.
Well then, that's where we start.
Anything but this, that was the moment. Not when everything changed, but when I decided it could.
So you found your way.
From the outside, yeah, it looked like that. You know, I was working with big celebrities, I was winning all these great awards, but what most people wouldn't realize is that at the same time, I was still being sent back and forth, you know, to rehabs and to clinics. It was just this vicious cycle of huge success and then hitting rock bottom.
What kept you going through that?
Creating, the ability to express what I was going through in fashion. I enrolled in fashion school, and when I created, it was like the first time I really felt like me. I still struggled, but I worked so hard. I feel like when you love something, you'll do anything to find a way through.
Was there a moment where it really clicked?
Yeah, I would definitely say in my final year at fashion school, something just shifted. My graduate collection was scouted for emerging designers at PayPal Fashion Festival. Oh, that was the moment where watching my designs on the runway, I had goosebumps and I was like, yeah, this is what I was born to do.
And that led to Rocky Rafaela.
Pretty much. I applied for an Alexander Wang internship in New York and I became runner-up. I think that was the moment I was like, okay, wow, like people think I'm talented. You know, maybe I do have something the world needs to see.
Where did the name come from?
Rocky was my nickname from birth. You know, it's the fighter, the strength you build from being knocked down. Rafaela in Hebrew, it means to heal. That is the healer, the creative flow and the energy of the brand.
So what did designing feel like for you?
Designing felt like I almost wasn't in control, like I was being used as a mechanism from somewhere above. It started dark. The Cage collection was inspired by the psych wards and, you know, feeling trapped and caged. But ironically, creating the cages is what set me free. Then, you know, through my healing journey came the Snake collection, transformation, rebirth, shedding skin. So everything was really connected with my personal life and, you know, my designs.
So you're still struggling with drugs and alcohol at this point?
Yeah, I was. I felt like when I wasn't Rocky Rafaela, I still hadn't healed Rochelle Gregory. I knew I had to give drugs and alcohol up to really go within. And at this point, I was finally ready to deal with it.
So what's next for you?
I am creating a runway show for PayPal Fashion Festival, which I'm so excited for. The collection that I'm going to be showcasing is created from the absolute very best version of myself.
You're an amazing inspiration. This is a success story.
Honestly, it feels like I'm just getting started.